everybody. Once again, I am pleased to say that I have experienced peak at my local cinema. Chainsaw Man recently released a movie which covers the Reze arc. Reze is a character introduced in this movie, and we get to see her impact on our hungry and horned up protagonist Denji. In case you've never seen Chainsaw Man before, I'll give you a brief overview on what it's about. Chainsaw Man is about a young homeless guy named Denji who ends up becoming a devil human hybrid after he almost dies very early on in the series. Devils are a type of monster that embody the fears of humans, and they get powers that correlate to whatever is feared. In this case, Denji merges with the Chainsaw Devil, whose name is Pochita, which allows Denji to use chainsaw powers, making him the Chainsaw Man. So, anyway, after receiving his powers, he joins an organization that aims to fight other devils, which gives him a somewhat better life than he had before. He now gets to eat good food, live in better conditions, and embark on the pursuit of a girlfriend and maybe even squeeze some boobies along the way. This is an anime series with only one season, consisting of 12 episodes, and now this movie. So if you are interested in watching, now isn't a bad time since it will be super easy to catch up. And as far as I know, no release dates for future episodes or movies have been announced at this point. With that being said, if you are new to anime, I would say it's probably 50-50 that someone completely new to anime would like this series. I'd recommend watching an anime that eases you into the mannerisms and style of anime, since I don't think Chainsaw Man is the greatest first exposure to anime as a whole. However, as someone who has watched a handful of anime at this point, I really like it, and I imagine many fans like Chainsaw Man as well. Now, if you made it this far in the video, let me know if you'd rather be a country mouse or city mouse in the comments, and tell me why. Give me your reasoning. Why would you rather be a city or a country mouse? That's pretty much all I can say without getting into spoilers, so this is your spoiler warning. As I said earlier, I think the Reze arc was amazing. Aside from the Demon Slayer movie, this is probably one of the few movies that's come out recently that I really want to watch in theaters again. The visuals and music in this movie are spectacular. If you've already watched it, I'd assume you've seen tons of memes with the music that plays when Denji and Reze are in the swimming pool. That's just one of the many amazing songs in this movie. It's been stuck in my head for a while now, and I've been listening to it whenever I get the chance. Anyway, moving on. Almost the entire movie is about Denji and his relationship with Reze, who ends up being the bomb devil. A good chunk of this movie is a massive fight between Denji and Reze as Reze tries to take Denji's heart. The fighting sequences are really well done, and we even get to see Denji start using his powers more creatively instead of just bum rushing people all the time. We also get introduced to Beam, who is the Shark Devil. Beam really grew on me as this movie progressed. I didn't care for him all that much at the beginning. He kind of seemed like he'd be another annoying side character. But as the movie continued, he definitely grew on me. I ended up liking him a lot. Watching him tank hits like an absolute madman to help Denji really raised my respect for Beam. He takes some ridiculously mean hits too, but he just keeps swimming. So he's really the MVP of this whole movie. There's no way Denji would have won without Beam's help. So he gets points for that. Beam gets a ton of points for that. Something else I want to mention is that I have not read the manga for Chainsaw Man, and I haven't seen any huge spoilers for the story as far as I know. So I went into the movies with no idea what was going to happen, and I have no clue what the events of this movie will lead to as the series progresses. I do think this movie will be important to the development of Denji's character, and I have a good feeling his relationship with Makima will be hurt pretty substantially if he ever finds out that she's the one that killed Reze. Speaking of Reze, I thought that she was a well-made character, and I think it's fitting she gets a whole arc named after her, because even though she does die at the end, I know she will have a sizable impact on the series as a whole, even if it's only because of how she changed Denji by helping him grow. Now, in terms of critiques, I genuinely have no idea what I would change or complain about. The only thing that really comes to mind is the random lingerie scene, but honestly, who the hell am I to judge? Was it necessary? Absolutely not, but I mean, I'm not going to question peak cinema, and like my man Denji here, I'm not going to complain about seeing a little bit of boobies either. They even threw in an angel for the ladies, so for anyone who's into femboys or just into girly type men, you get that. So there's something here for everybody. I am stuck on how to rate this movie though, since it is attached to an overall series. I had a similar problem when it came to ranking Demon Slayer, like almost for the exact same reason. They're both part of an anime series, so it's really hard to rank them just because it's a continuation of a story. Something else that makes it hard is I really have no clue where Chainsaw Man goes after this, since I only watched the anime and I have no idea. I haven't heard any spoilers and I haven't read the manga at all. Even though I think this movie was incredible, I have a feeling this won't be the best thing that comes out of Chainsaw Man. I have a feeling there probably will be stronger arcs, so I think I'm going to give it a solid 10 out of 12 eggs, and it may even gain or lose an egg depending on how this movie affects the overall story. If the events of this movie are never brought up again, I think it'd probably be a little safer to say maybe 9 out of 12 eggs. But if Reze continues to be brought up and her impact is much more substantial than it seems to be right now, then I would probably say 11 out of 12 eggs would even be reasonable. Final answer, 10 eggs though. I strongly recommend you give this movie a watch. That's about it for now. I hope you guys had a good one and eat some eggs.